In the midst of a brutal war, when hatred and fear seemed to consume everything, an unexpected act of humanity occurred, a moment where even enemies found common ground. This is the story of the Christmas Truce of 1914, a haunting reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can shine through. Winter 1914. The Great War had torn Europe apart. The Western Front was a vast expanse of mud-filled trenches, where soldiers from Germany and the Allied forces fought an endless, bloody battle. Day after day, the air was filled with the sound of artillery shells exploding, and the ground was churned up by the boots of men who knew nothing but fear, exhaustion, and violence. On the evening of December 24, 1914, something strange happened. The usual sounds of war began to fade, replaced by an eerie silence. The soldiers, worn and weary, were far from home, separated by miles of trenches and barbed wire. But on this night, something shifted. Slowly, it began, first a soft song rising from the German trenches. They began to sing, softly at first, almost as if unsure. A familiar carol, Silent Night, echoed across the battlefield. The song, a beacon of peace, pierced the night. On the other side, the Allied soldiers paused. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Then, one by one, they joined in, their voices mingling with the Germans in an unlikely, fragile harmony. As the music died down, an even more unexpected act unfolded. One by one, soldiers from both sides climbed out of their trenches, stepping cautiously toward the middle ground, what had once been no man's land, the very place where they had fought and killed just hours before. At first, there was hesitation. The tension was palpable, the weight of violence lingering in the air. But then, in an unprecedented act of trust, the soldiers met halfway. They exchanged simple gifts, cigarettes, buttons, food, and even trinkets. The walls of animosity, built on years of propaganda, began to crumble under the weight of this shared human connection. And then, as if the battlefields had transformed into something else entirely, a ball appeared. The first soccer game in the middle of a war began that Christmas Day. With no more bombs, no more shots fired, the men of both sides found themselves laughing, kicking a ball across the frozen ground, momentarily forgetting the horrors of the war. Can you imagine it? Enemies, standing side by side, playing a game, the world's deadliest war temporarily paused by something as simple as a game of soccer. But the most extraordinary thing of all was the mutual respect that filled the air. For one night, the killing stopped, and for one night, they were all just men. No uniforms, no flags, just human beings seeking solace in each other's company. The truce wasn't universal, nor did it last long. By the time Christmas Day ended, the guns would fire again. But that moment, that brief flicker of peace, would linger in the hearts of the soldiers who experienced it. They would go on to fight, to kill, and to die, but for those few hours, they shared something far greater than war: humanity. The Christmas Truce of 1914 reminds us that even in the worst of times, when humanity seems to have lost its way, there are moments where we can still find light in the darkest of places. Perhaps, if we look closely enough, we can still find hope in the most unlikely of situations. Thank you for watching. If you found this story moving, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible historical tales of humanity. And remember, sometimes, the greatest battles we face are the ones that happen within ourselves.